Hello everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. My name's Chad. We just got done with my third trip at the dump, and we're going to return back to the transfer station, get one more load. So, if you'd like to go for a ride, hang around, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's get out of here. Been a pretty smooth day today so far, so I can't really complain about it. Oh, how am I aimed here? Pretty good? It's hard for me to tell. Well, I hope it's okay. Seemed like it. Okay. Oh. Oh, hang on. Be right back. I've got something hanging on my landing gear. Alright. Man, I wouldn't think that piece of plastic could hang on there so hard. Well, it was on there. She was on there to stay. Okay. Let's try this again. Alright. And we're off. I just seen a news video. Unbelievable. I was watching LFA. That's what I watch. Jeremy had a video of somebody that was down in San Antonio by one of the big, one of the big illegal alien processing facilities. And I guess that the police officers are moonlighting there, facilitating that organization. Absolutely unbelievable. In their official capacity, official cars, uniforms, the whole deal. Unbelievable. They're not going to like it when the cuffs get slapped on them. You can't do that. But anyway, I'm a long ways away from there. Ain't a whole lot I can do about it. Oh, he's going in there. Look, still, they've been spraying for days and days, geoengineering. Look, there's another one right there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, it's pretty far away. Then people are, I don't know who facilitates that. I'm sure the government pays for it somehow, but I'm sure it's probably some other organization that does that. But they're absolutely killing the whole planet. If you haven't watched The Dimming, you really need to. It's on YouTube. It's also it's put out by geoengineeringwatch.org. You gotta spread the word about that stuff, because that affects every single living organism on this planet, because they're spraying like aluminum and barium, and I can't remember the other stuff that they're spraying all over the place. But aluminum is toxic to every single living thing on this planet, because it's not something that is found in nature. It has to be refined. Aluminum is usually bonded to something, some kind of silica, and they have to get it off of there and refine it into aluminum itself. So it is incredibly toxic, and we get to breathe it in nonstop every day, along with all the trees and the plants and, you know, everything. So the dimming, watch it. You'll probably be upset when you're done with it. It's pretty lengthy. It's like 2 hours long. But it's worth it to watch, to educate yourself about it, because it is for real, and it's been going on a long time, despite what you may hear from, you know, fake news sources. Sorry, it just upsets me when I see them flying around up there, because that is not exhaust. Those kind of jet engines don't make exhaust like that. And if the conditions happened to be right for the jet engine to make that exhaust, it would dissipate within minutes. Man, it's so hard to see over this little knob to my left here to see what lane people are in. And it looks like everybody's in the same lane all the time. Now we can get her going. So, like I said, thanks for riding along today. I appreciate it. If you like riding along, I'd appreciate a like and a follow. It would be nice. Thank you very much for that.
And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been put 9 months ago, it would be more regulations at the border, more support.
Oh. People have such a hard time going behind you to get off on that exit right there. Like, I'm getting on, all you gotta slow down for the curve anyway, so I mean, you can slow down 30 seconds earlier and move over, then you don't have to weave over to the left lane and then go all the way across back the other way. Nobody so many people try to get by me right there all the time. Where the lane ends right here. It's been a pretty good day today. Had my Bella this morning, feeling pretty good. And Bella Grace, that's a new company, and they've got some unbelievable products to keep you healthy and feeling good. They've got an elixir, and they've got a weight management product, and they're very comprehensive. They do a lot of things. Something that everybody should check out. I mean, because you're investing in yourself is the best investment you can make. You want to be healthy, especially with everything that's around you. And gosh, they got everything is bad. Air, water, food, it's all got poison in it. So we got to try to combat that with good stuff. So try BellaNow.com. Watch the little video on there. Jump through to the shop and pick yourself something out. If you subscribe to the for the auto ship, they give you a big discount too. I don't remember what it's like, 30% or something, 25 or 30%, I think. So you should check it out. Your body will thank you. You will feel better. I know my wife started taking the Bella Trim, and without even doing anything, it's just one capsule, a day, like before you eat your biggest meal, like an hour before supper or something. She started taking that. She lost 18 or 19 pounds. And she didn't even do anything. We didn't change anything. There was no exercise. There wasn't, we didn't have any big diet changes or anything like that. She just started taking it. So it did work. It does work. Plus it lowered her blood glucose, all that. It regulates that for you too, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Really good stuff. So, yeah, try BellaNow.com. Check it out. Figured I'd do a return trip today. I do a lot of runs going out to the landfill, but I don't know, maybe we'll do one coming back this time. Traffic usually flows a little better coming back though, because there's none of the lanes are closed for any of the construction. Hopefully that continues. It is kind of middle of the day, lunchtime-ish, so we'll see. I'm sure once I get up here by Appleton, there'll be a few more cars. Oh, satellite guy. Man, I used to do that back in the day. Oh. I do not miss going into people's houses, I'll tell you that. You meet some really nice people, for the most part. Most people are cool. You get the ones that are not so cool every once in a while, like calling you the cable guy and stuff, and following you around the house. But most of them are always pretty cool, but doing that work, I don't miss that. Because we did a lot of rural areas, because there was no cable TV or anything out there, so their only alternative was satellite if they wanted to have more channels than what you could get off air. So a lot of times you go out there and it'd be like it'd be a trailer home or a modular home of some sort that doesn't have a basement. They just have a crawl space. wasn't a big fan of running wires along the outside of the house because I think it's tacky. It looks really bad, and eventually they do sag down. It's not neat. I mean, if I was going to have somebody come to my house and run some wires, I would want them to be neat, tidy, looks nice. It's not an eyesore. So I tried not to run them on the outside of the house, and plus then you're putting a bunch of holes in their siding or in the brick or whatever you're doing. If you have it, you got to attach it somewhere. So I would always go under the house. So in the crawl space, this man meet up with all kinds of stuff under there. I remember this one time. I was in O'Connell, and it was winter, cold, and I pounded the pole in the ground, got the ditch set up, and I had to run the wires. To the middle of the house, and then there was some from the middle that had to go back down up to the nose, up to the front of the house. And so I got the wires, I got them underneath, and that wasn't too bad. I was kind of able to use one of my long drill bits and kind of fish it along, so it really wasn't too bad. I didn't have to go under too much for that, but the other one I had to go underneath because of where the box is located. You know, you got to get the wires to it, and these were the dual tuner boxes. So then if you were going to feed another TV, you'd have to get the wire back down and then run it to another TV. So I got that all set. Why do people not speed up? Like, look at this guy's not even trying. Don't even step on the pedal at all. So, oh, everybody will stop for me. Whatever. Anyway, back to the story. So I get inside, I get the hole cut in the wall for where they have their TV. And drill the hole down, push my bit through, because usually in those kind of homes you have and once you get through the floor, then there's a big layer of insulation, so you got to push through that, and then on the bottom of the insulation is held up by plastic, so you got to push through that. So I got it through down to the ground, and got my wire ready, and had to go underneath. So I crawled down under there, and it's small. I mean, it's either you're either on your back or on your stomach. There was no in between. You couldn't roll over, is what I'm saying. So I'm down there. I got my tools. I got the wire. I got my little flashlight, and I'm army crawling. I get over to where the drill bit is. Hook my wire on, and then I had to pull another one that I had with me up to the front. So I start crawling with the wire, and I get about, I don't know, maybe, I was probably 10 or 15 feet from where I had to be, and I started to hear this noise. It was this weird scratching sound. And I'm laying there like, okay, all I got is my little flashlight. I've got my tool belt on, and I can't really move. And I don't know what's down here, but something's down here that's alive. And so I'm shining my light over into the corner, and there's an insulating foam, the stuff they put on the board foam. They put it on the side of foundations and stuff before they backfill. So there's a bunch of broken pieces of it laying over there, and I'm shining the light at it, and I can hear this noise, and there's these little squealing sounds, and I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of sweating it, because I really, if it's like a skunk or a raccoon or really don't have much of a way to defend myself under here if it decides to come after me. I can't really move. I mean, it's very small. You know, from my back to the trusses, probably, I don't know, a couple inches. Like, not very far, not very much room. And so I laid there, and I'm watching it, and I can see the foam moving. It's kind of pulsing. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what this is under here, and I can hear it, and all of a sudden, after about 5 minutes, because I couldn't decide what to do, I thought, well, I could try to back out, and then I'd have to go and get something where I could try to see what it is, because I got to get over there. Finally, the phone moves, and here it is, just a mama and a whole bunch of baby kitties. So I was pretty relieved about that, because I was thinking the worst, you know. But it was middle of winter, so it was cold out, so they had a good spot, staying out of the wind anyway. Freaked me out though. But all kinds of things like that you'd run into. And some stuff you run into you didn't even want to see. I've had to call the health department on houses before because of the conditions that were so bad. Like, you couldn't even breathe in the house. It would be so bad. Just the smell of like urine and feces, and you know, they'd have animals down in the basement that they never let out. Just horrible conditions that you can't, I mean, as a good citizen, you can't let that go. But then houses like that where they had little kids in there and stuff, you can't have that. So a few times I had to make the hard phone call. Hopefully they got cleaned up. We've had to refuse doing service too for houses like that, where I'm not going down there, like I'm not doing it, you know? So yeah, I don't really miss that line of work too much. Did cable for a while too. That was even worse. I don't miss carrying that big heavy ladder around. Fiberglass ladder they had. Some of us had 32 footers and some of us had 28 footers. Take that thing off the truck and then wind's blowing 25 miles an hour and you're trying to maneuver that thing around and get it so you can either hook it up onto the up on the line or up on the pole, and oh man, you start pulling that ladder up and it wants to tip over, and you're against a busy road, traffic's going by, and you're like, oh man, if this thing falls, it's going to be bad. But that's what we had to do it with, so that's what we had to do. You know, they wouldn't teach us how to gap, so we couldn't do that, which would have been the option you should have used, either that or a boom truck. For some of these where you're on a thoroughfare and the cars are just flying past, and if that ladder that's extended all the way up falls down, man, you're going to wipe out a few people. I don't mean death-wise, but if you're cruising along 40, 45 miles an hour and a ladder comes falling down that was standing up and comes falling into traffic, that's probably not going to be a good outcome. I mean, you're going to have people slamming on the brakes and swerving and smashing into everything just to not have that fall on their car. So yeah, don't miss it. Yep. Hopefully I can get by this guy by the time I get to my exit. I ain't going much faster than him. But I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. As fast as she goes. Arr. you had there, Chief. I don't know what you had on there, but you should have left it stock. It'll look better. Some sort of floral pattern, but it was like nothing modern. Would have been like 70s floral pattern. You know, you see them old couches and stuff? Yeah, like that. We actually had one of them when I was a kid. It was a pretty comfy couch. Just a word of advice to anybody driving down the highway or down the road. You see a container, you should probably get around it. Don't drive by it. You would not believe how many of those things aren't even attached to the chassis, and how many of them have broken bolts and missing parts and stuff's falling off of them. And I used to hate moving containers around because they're junk, all of them. Even the new ones are junk. And the chassis, some of them are even worse because they take the box off the ship and they set it on top of the chassis, and it's only connected on by 4 points, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and a lot of times half of them aren't even connected. There's 2 pins in the front that push in, and then in the back there's lockers that turn. When I was spot, I do a walk around on my trailers before I put them in the door, and you wouldn't believe how many of them that I had to pound the pins in or turn the lockers on, and it's like, dude, you drove that here from where? How far did you drive with it? It's not even hooked to the chassis, bouncing around. If you had to take any sort of a maneuver, or you took a corner a little fast, that thing's coming off. So yeah, steer clear of them things. Not trying to disparage against Swift. All containers, they're all that way. Sometimes they'd be sitting up on top of the pins in the front. I'd have to pound the pin back with my hammer, and bang, it would fall down onto the chassis. Then try to pound the pin in.
The biggest benefit, honestly, has been with my skin. Skin is more hydrated, more radiant. It's really the best superfood that you can take. It has all the essential nutrients you need for your skin, your gut, energy, focus, mood, performance.
Almost there. You probably have a lot of places like this. Cap off the landfill, then they don't use it no more. They just use it for gas. They reclaim the gas out of it. It's a landfill right there, but that's not in service anymore. So then they have a building that's next to it where everybody comes and dumps the garbage, and then they load it onto our trailer. So we take it to the active landfill where we just left. I'll have one more run yet today. Yep, everybody remember to watch that documentary, The Dimming. You will never look at the weather the same. Ever. Hey, there's a deer. Little one. I wonder where Mama is. Because that one was definitely a fawn. She might be in the cornfield.
So he says as long as there's shit on top of that shit, you're thinking that
This is her first real aggressive questioning. How do you think she fared?
I think that was a major failure.
Roger, Dodger.
She's not going to do anything differently. She cut and pasted Joe Biden's policies and didn't even change the source code when a month after her coup, she likes to talk about democracy, but didn't win a single vote in her primary to become the Democratic nominee.
We made it.
People that she talks about intelligence that say Trump is unstable, those are the same people that signed
I will back her in the North Pit. Yeah, I'll put you out on the mirror
Russian disinformation.
in a minute here.
That's all.
And we'll back in there.
Abject disaster.
How's that sound? Good? Great? Grand.
They're pulling her.
All right.
She got angry and couldn't answer even basic questions. She didn't just fail with Brett Baer. She failed on The View, Jesse, last week. Imagine how.
All right, I'll be right back.
Let
me get the door open.
Suicide. She doesn't have it. Americans understand that. She'll tell you whatever you need to hear to get that vote, but she is the daughter of a Marxist professor. She is a radical San Francisco liberal. She has been in charge for 3.5 years because she's not just a vice president. She's a vice president to the most absentee president in the history of the United States. Someone who has spent over 40% of his time on the beach in Delaware, and, not to mention the dementia. She could have done any one of these things over the last 3.5 years, yet she did none of them. Why wait? Is she going to wait till day one on January 20th? Americans are suffering. Inflation is killing us. Wars are breaking out all over the world. Iran is endorsing her. Vladimir Putin is endorsing her because they understand that a weak America is good for Iran, a weak America is good for China, a weak America is good for Russia. She's not going to change anything. It's going to be an abject disaster.
An abject disaster. Don Jr. hits it right on the head, but what did he mean when he said that they cut the interview short? What did he mean by that? Well, it turns out Brett Baer was getting the hard rap from Kamala Harris' estate because they didn't do
When the kicker in football, they call a timeout right before he's going to kick the field goal. They're icing the kicker. So we were supposed to start at 5 p.m. This is the time they gave us. Originally, we were going to do 25 or 30 minutes. It came in and said, well, maybe 20. So it was already getting whittled down. And then the vice president showed up.
Give me a second here.
We were pushing the
Wiggle you around.
I
gotta get you off the mount.
So, that's how it started. And I could tell when we started talking that she was going to be tough to redirect without me trying to interrupt. I did this for President Obama. At one point I just said,
All right.
Mr. President, I know you like to filibuster. I just didn't even have the chance to sometimes redirect.
All right. I'm going to get you out on the thing. We're going to go right in the right door there. So we'll get set up and we'll go in. Let me move forward a little bit. You can see what the pit looks like.
Who are very weary.
That's where we're going. Right there. All right, let me get you out. in there. Maybe I'll take you with me. I can walk you back and show you what I gotta do. Hang on a minute. So once we get down in the pit, and we gotta go lock in, so just down here. And I use the hook. We're in, we turn on the compactor, and now it's in their control. So they'll load me up, and we'll go to the dump one more time. I appreciate you watching today. Give the video a like if you like this kind of stuff. Like and a follow and all that. Check out the website, trybellanow.com. Everybody out there have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow or the next day.